Hi, my name's Alex from SEO Dons, and we have helped UK solar installers generate over £15 million in gross profit, not revenue, because we don't really like that number here. And almost every single one of them were working harder before they came to us than they are now. The problem was never their install quality or their team or their effort. I will show you exactly what it was. So by the end of this video, I'm making it my mission to pretty much just teach you exactly why most solar installers cannot scale past that £1 million a year mark, and why more leads does not always fix the issue. Here's what I consistently see with installers who kind of hit that ceiling, right? They're kind of running around like headless chicken, calling leads, calling quotes, doing surveys. And the thing is that the margins are still getting thinner. And one of the things that I always see is just because you are busy and you're doing a lot of volume of work does not mean that your business is profitable, right? Because if there's no margin on those installs, yes, you're doing volume, but that could be replicated from doing half the volume with increased margin. And the problem is that every single time you sort of buy a lead, or maybe you're running some ad campaigns and attracting a type of customer which you just do not want to deal with, you're kind of training yourself up and your team up on volume and reducing your margin, cutting your price. And that's kind of when you're engaging in that race to the bottom. You know, the customer says they can get it cheaper, so you drop the price and the margin disappears, and then a problem crops up and you can't just go ahead and slap that onto the install. You've got to eat that. And then pretty much come the low season, because the summer months tend to be quite busy, so come the low season when you're going into winter, the pipeline's just really unpredictable and there's no stability there. So the instinct is always, I need more leads, I need more leads. But genuinely, more of the wrong leads just does make it worse. Because think about it, if you generate more of those leads, you're going to just lose money on the jobs. You're going to spend way more on resources, and you still have bills to pay, you still have staff to pay. You're just going to be like on a treadmill the whole time. So you need to get better leads and follow a better sales process. The installers who are breaking past that £1 million a year mark are not generating more leads. They're generating different types of leads and doing more with them. And that distinction is pretty much everything. Quick one before we get into this. If you want to know how your business is doing, where you're ranking in respect to everyone else in your area, we're currently offering a free SEO audit. There's a link in the description. Simply book a call. There's no obligations. It will just be a conversation to see how you're getting on and a tailored bit of advice to help you out. Now let's keep it going. So why more leads actually makes it worse, right? If you're buying leads and you're just competing with people who are getting 5, 6, 7 quotes and they're already being sold to multiple different companies, you are kind of just training yourself to compete on price. And every time you drop your price on a job to win it, you're just going to do it again and again and again until there's ultimately no margin left. Now, advertising leads, usually they can work if they're set up properly and you've got a good sales process, but more often than not, right, these people are scrolling. You know, they're not actively searching. And when you scale that model where you're just generating more inquiries, slicing your margin, there's going to be more pressure to convert because you don't have the money to pay for the resources it costs you, which means more discounting to win jobs, which means the ceiling gets lower. And then it's literally just a trap at that point. And I see it all the time, right? A pipeline that relies on buying leads or running ads all the time is exposed in the low seasons, because as soon as those ads turn off, your pipeline dries up completely. Whereas someone searching solar panels in my area have already made a decision. Now remember, the installers who break through that are not always doing more, they're doing less better. And it comes down to one thing: their leads find them, not the other way around. And look, I might be biased at the end of the day. You know, we run an SEO company in the renewables industry. Cast your mind back to when someone has called you up because they saw you locally and found your website. They're always the best leads. They're so easy to sell to. Everyone knows this. And it's because the organic leads have arrived pre-sold. They've searched, they found one company and they've called that company and inquired. Now remember, this is not Google ads. You don't need to outspend Octopus or Eon or any of these big energy companies on Google. And if you're anything like me anyway, you usually just, whenever you see those sponsored results at the top of Google, you usually just scroll straight past them and you find the top ranking organic search result. So you just need to rank at the top in your local areas where your vans go to, you know, where you send your lads, where you go and actually do surveys and quotes and design. And just to show you how powerful this is, I mean, Years is a company we work with up north. They get 40 inquiries a month, website inquiries. You've got Midland Solar, who is based in the Midlands. They get 20 inquiries a week. And they're all those golden organic inquiries that most of you are used to getting the odd one here and there. And these are not massive national firms, you know, they're small outfits that are just their go-to local installer. And it really did not even take as long or as much to get there as most people would think as well. Alps Electrical were the same. You know, they've closed over 300k in work, which is about 100k in gross profit in 2 months from website inquiries. Solar UK, they've ranked #1 on Google within just 16 days for one of the most competitive search terms in Hertfordshire. So you can imagine how quickly you can scale if those website inquiries, if you just had more of them. And that's literally what our job is to do for people. Even if you do a couple things correctly, which I'm talking about a lot of, you know, how you can implement these things in different videos, you can become the go-to installer in your area. It really does not take as much as people think it does. Now, as a sort of bonus mention, I think it's also really important to talk about sales process, because look, you can have the best leads on earth, but ultimately you also need to keep in mind your sales process, right? If a lead has come through and you're not contacting that person, you're not going to have a good time making a sale. So for the clients that we work with, for example, we use a system called Go High Level, which I'm going to leave a link in the description. Most people know what Go High Level is. It's a really nice CRM. It's really user-friendly. I think it's like 200 quid a month. And you can literally log in, use it, and you now have the ability to connect up your website, connect up any advertising platform you're using or any different channels, word of mouth, you can add opportunities manually, and you can have automated text messages and email sending. So as soon as a website inquiry comes in, instant text message, instant email, welcoming them into the business. So before you even call them, they've already been contacted. The best part is as well, you don't even need to be an expert to set up a CRM like that and set up all these automations. I mean, you could literally go onto ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, ChatGPT, I've just got Go High Level. I've got a renewables business. I want you to help me set up an automated text system where as soon as a lead comes in through the website, it sends them a text message. Can you help me set it up? And it will literally give you the step-by-step on how to do it. And the great part is if you don't understand it, you can keep asking it to break it down as much as you want until you do. So there are solutions to your problems. You know, generate more organic leads, which is not as hard as you think. And we're going to break it down in other videos. Again, if you wanted some more insight, let's book an SEO audit and I'll show you. But ultimately as well, like, get some better sales processes in place. Go High Level is a great system. It's the one we use. So maybe consider getting that set up too. Now, at the start of the video, I said that we've helped installers add over £15 million in gross profit over the last 3 years. Now, we've done that without running a single ad. And the reason that they've been able to do that is because the leads found them directly in their local areas, which meant they never had to really compete on price. And they also followed a good sales process to get the sale. So again, link is in the description for the SEO audit if you want it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.